Yo, this is Rick Mahorn, the bad boy, giving a shout out to my man Drew, Detroit Drew. Make sure you tune in on his YouTube channel, Detroit Drew. Bad boy.
Are you ready?
Hey peeps, how's it going? Today we're back with another video. Again, you guys know we're talking about the Pistons like we do any other day. I apologize in advance for the dog whining in the back. I think she hurt her leg. I'm trying to check it out. I don't know what's going on with that right now, but she will not stop whining. But let's talk about this real quick before I figure out what's going on with that. With the Pistons being brought back up into mainstream media, it seems like every day on Twitter there's a new post on Yahoo or NBA.com or whatever about the bad boy Pistons. It makes you realize how impactful that team was, that years, decades later, that this team is still relevant and people are still talking about it. And that's something as a franchise you can't take advantage of that. Like, it's just natural. It's beautiful. And I think that there's a lot to be learned from this team, for this current team. Now, there's still some pieces here that we don't know if they're going to be back, if we're looking to move on from them. We don't know who we're going to bring in the offseason via the draft or free agency. But I think when a player comes to the Pistons, that it is one of, and I've said this many times, it is one of very few organizations that already has a culture built into it. The fan base knows what it needs to be, and we embrace it. And that is not just to be a bad boy, it helps, but it's to be a tough, physical team. Don't back down from anybody. You don't take crap from anybody. You may not be matched up well with another team. You might not have the most talented players and the most dominant players, but you aren't scared of the players who are better than you, who are more dominant than you, that can be more physical than you. You have to step up, be a dog, and just don't back down from anybody. And as a Pistons organization, you have that. You have it with the Bad Boys, who established it, who nicknamed us the Bad Boys. They didn't back down from anybody. They embraced the field. They embraced the hatred around the NBA. And it was awesome. The 04 Pistons, nobody gave them a shot in the world, but they were defensively dominant. I was watching one of the 04 finals games against the Lakers. We held them to under 70 points. Kobe and Shaq in their prime to under 70 points. That team was dominant, but nobody outside of Detroit gave them a single shot to win that finals, and they did. They know what it takes to win. So if I'm a young player, a Christian Wood, a Sekou, a Bruce Brown, a Luke Kennard, whoever you want to throw in the conversation, I am going to be watching film. I'm watching what they're saying about the Bad Boys right now, and I want to be in that shoe. I want to be talked about the way they're being talked about. I want other players to hate me, and maybe that's just my mind. I'm competitive. I'm not one of the buddy guys where I want everybody in the league to like me. I want to be hated. I want to go out there and beat those other guys and then have them talk about me and how good I am. That they had to put in 2-3 years of off-season workouts to get tougher. That he needed to get Scottie Pippen or a Shaq to get better, or a Kobe to get better, whoever it was. I want to be that team. I want to embrace that, and I just think that these two teams that we have here that have won, there's players on that team are willing to help younger players mentally, physically, whatever, game-wise, learn a move or two. They want the Pistons to be good because it's their legacy. And when the Pistons get good and start winning games again, which is going to happen eventually whenever everything gets back to normal and we can get this rebuild rolling, whenever they get good and get to that point, it's going to start doing comparisons to how good that team's going to be against the 04 Pistons, against the Bad Boys. And everyone wants to see that. Man, dude, there's so much to be learned from these two teams. And I think that just the young players need to soak it up. And I think Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose, as the leaders right now, need to embrace what this team's culture and identity is. But, you know, with today's NBA, it's kind of tough for players to kind of embrace it because I don't think they want to play that way. You know, there's a lot more offensive skills than defensive skills now in the league. You know, it seems like everybody in the league that comes in has more offensive weapons than defensive weapons. I think it's kind of a lost art, but it is what it is nonetheless. But what do you guys think, man? Do you guys think that the Pistons can learn from these guys? Do you guys think they should be watching these documentaries like The Last Dance and get fuel off of it? Because it got me motivated, man. I wish that, you know, basketball was still on and now. Unfortunately, it's not. But, you know, I just want to see them come out hungry, determined, aggressive, and really show some people that there are still some glimpses of those two teams here and that we have a future. And I think we got a good future. We got a lot of good talent right now. They have to develop. We have to get this draft absolutely 100% correct and get the right player here. But I think that these guys should just take advantage of it, soak it all in, learn from the GOATs of the Pistons organization. So leave it down in the comments, man. Instagram, Twitter, DSA members, DSA website on the description. Without further ado, see you guys tomorrow. Peace.